The Master of Works to the Crown of Scotland was responsible for the construction, repair and maintenance of royal palaces, castles and other crown property in Scotland. The main buildings were Holyroodhouse, Edinburgh Castle, Stirling Castle, Linlithgow Palace, and Falkland Palace. The position was roughly equivalent to that of Surveyor of the King's Works in the English Royal Household. The emergence of the position reflected a shift in responsibility from the masons, or administrators in holy orders, to designers with little hands-on knowledge of stone masonry. Earlier holders of the office were often courtiers. James Hamilton of Finett was the king's kinsman. John Scrymgeour was a heraldic expert, while William Shaw, an administrator, was a key figure in the development of Freemasonry, itself a craft having little to do with building. Later holders filled a role similar to that of architects in the modern sense. Some masters were craftsmen. Robert Robertson, who was Master of Work at Stirling Castle after the execution of the aristocrat Hamilton of Finett, was a carpenter. During the reign of James V, there was also a principal master writer-carpenter, John Drummond of Milnab, and as well as building works he was concerned with the artillery and its logistics. In the 15th century, a Master of Works would be appointed to oversee an individual construction project, such as a new palace, or a rebuilding of an old one. Thus the Exchequer records identify several post holders who might be regarded as accountants rather than architects. In the 16th century, during the reign of James V, the appointment of a principal Master of Works began, with overall responsibility for all the king's works. The appointment was usually for life. Following the death of James Smith in 1714, the post became a sinecure with a salary of £400, and the post declined in importance. In 1808, Robert Reid was named architect and surveyor to the king in Scotland, and he became Master of Works following the death of James Brodie in 1824. However, in 1831 the Scottish Office of Works was merged with the English Office of Works, and when Reid retired in 1840, he was not replaced. The Office of Works was later reconstituted as the Ministry of Works. Principal Masters of Works to the Crown of Scotland. The dates given are those of their appointment. These appointments were made by the issue of a warrant recorded in the Register of the Privy Seal. William MacDougall, though acting as Master of Work, never had a warrant, and some appointments ran concurrently. 1529, Sir James Nicolay, or Nicholson, Master of Work at Stirling Castle. 1537, John Scrymgeour. 1539, Sir James Hamilton of Finett. 1541, Robert Robertson. 1543, John Hamilton of Milnaburn. 1579, Sir Robert Drummond of Carnick. 1583, William Shaw. 1602–1607, Sir David Cunningham of Robertland, also Surveyor of the King's Works in England. 1604–1606. 1607–1634, Sir James Murray of Kilbarbiton. 1615, Walter Murray. 1629–1637, Sir Anthony Alexander. 1632, William Gavain of Cardrona and James Murray Jr. 1637–1641, Henry Alexander, 3rd Earl of Stirling. 1641, Sir John Veitch of Dorwick. 1643–1644, John Carmichael. 1645–1649, Sir David Carmichael of Hindford. 1649, Sir Robert Montgomery. 1660–1668, Sir William Murray of Dreghorn. The office was unoccupied from 1668 to 1671. 1671–1678, Sir William Bruce of Balcaskey, Baronet. 1678 to 1683, David Maitland, 1683 to 1788, James Smith, 1689 to 1700, Sir Archibald Murray of Black Barony, Baronet, 1700 to 1704, James Scott of Logie, 1704 to 1705, Sir Francis Scott of Thurlaston, 1705 to 1714, John Campbell of Mamore, 1705 to 1717, John Urquhart of Meldrum, 1707 to 1714, James Smith, 1717 to 1743, Sir John Anstruther of Anstruther, 1743 to 1761, George Dundas, 1761 to 1764, William Stewart of Hertford, 1764 to 1768, James Duff of the Middle Temple, London, 1768 to 1809, Lieutenant Colonel James Pringle, 1809 to 1824, James Brodie of Brodie, 1824 to 1840, Robert Reed,